Can Mongraal and MrSavage shock the world and make FNCS history? Since this might truly be the last dance for Mongraal and MrSavage, what exactly is it going to take for them to be able to qualify for grand finals out of lower bracket and make the LAN event and finally finish the script? We all want to see Mongraal and MrSavage be able to win an FNCS, but if you want to help me to be able to win FNCS, I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new to the channel, please just subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications. Use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you want to support me even more. Follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with the channel. Let's get straight into today's video. All right, so let me just start off by saying this. If Mongraal and MrSavage wants to be able to make the LAN event, then MrSavage is going to need to play like a top 5 player on the region. MrSavage looks absolutely insane right now. He looks like he could be in like his 5th prime, but if he wants to be able to make a top 13 to maybe even a top 12 in grand finals, then he needs to be looking like one of the best players in the world. That is just what it is going to take. And Mongraal needs to support MrSavage playstyle as best as possible. And this team both needs to be alive during endgame. I see too many times one of them are dying before the endgame and then the other one is forced to solo clutch. If you want to have a good FNCS, or I mean, who am I kidding? Making the LAN event would be a great FNCS. If you want to have a great FNCS, both of you guys have to stay alive into moving zones. There is no way you are going to be able to top 10 a grand finals lobby from purely solo clutches. I want to talk about how much this team has been grinding though. If you have been watching their streams, they have been playing scrims like 6 hours a day. They're playing the main lobby scrims in the middle of the day, then they're playing night scrims, then they're playing tokens. Like, this is probably the most I have ever seen Mongraal and MrSavage grind, and I'm not even joking, probably the last like 2 or 3 years. But I don't want to give them too much credit for this as well, because I feel like this is truly what they have to do. Like, this has to be the bare minimum if they want to be able to make grand finals and make the LAN event. This team has 0 to none set lobbies experience at all in this season. The only finals lobby they made all season was a singular duo cash cup, which they placed 15th in. And granted, they did look good in the duo cash cup that they made. They literally didn't even load into one of the games and still finished top 15, but they haven't played a single weekly FNCS finals. They haven't qualified for 3 out of the 4 duo cash cups. And for a team that probably needs the most set lobby practice on the whole region, getting little to none of it is not a good sign going into FNCS. I can't stress it enough how much this team is really going to need to at least qualify for the duo cash cup before FNCS heat start. If they're not able to do that with how many big name teams are literally just on vacation right now, then it is not going to be looking good for them going into FNCS. This is by far one of the most stacked FNCSs we have ever seen. You literally have 3 of the GOATs of Fortnite in Booga, Miro, and Tayson all on the exact same region competing against each other with some of the best duos they have ever had. As well as you have the big name players like Vino and Clicks. You still have the dominance of Peterbot and Poyo. You have Cold and Acorn. For this team to be able to possibly pull off a top 10 in FNCS grand finals is going to be extremely difficult to do. Is this team going to win FNCS? I don't think that's really possible at this point in time. If Mongraal and MrSavage were able to win FNCS, I honestly think that might be the most surprising thing in Fortnite history. And I have to say this real quick, this is not me trying to hate on them at all. I'm just trying to be as real as possible and saying the facts here on what is going to need to happen for them to be able to pull this off. This team was in lower bracket last season and they weren't able to make grand finals. If you watch any of their FNCS like heats last season from lower bracket, it was honestly a tough watch. They were just dying to surge almost every single game. I do want to give some praise to Mongraal here though. His DMR aim looks absolutely insane. He could be one of the best surge players on the region right now. And if there's one thing that Mongraal carries in this duo, it is definitely the getting storm surge part. He can literally get 200 to 300 DMR damage by himself. Going back to the part with lower bracket though, I see a lot of people trying to make it seem like a big deal that they're in lower bracket. I don't really think it is as big of a deal as a lot of people are making it. Lower bracket is going to be a lot easier. The only real like super good teams I can even really name from lower bracket is like Acorn and Cold, and I'm pretty sure Alex and Worthy, the OCE boys, are also in lower bracket. But there is a lot of like random like no-name teams in lower bracket as well. Like, no disrespect to them, but teams that really just shouldn't be on the same caliber of level as Mongraal and MrSavage are, that they should be able to dominate those lobbies, have the confidence, go into upper bracket, and then be able to qualify into grand finals from there. One of the biggest things with this team though is they need an uncontested drop spot. Last season they were just getting absolutely destroyed off spawn. They were like triple contested with a bunch of teams around them as well. Their off spawn situation was so messy. Even the season before that when they were in grand finals, they're just honestly not the best off spawn fighters, and they were going against like some of the like most up and coming pros. Like, I'm pretty sure they're going against like Chap and Teeny or something like that. So I mean, they do get a little bit of slack for that, but this team has to prove that they are a team that can fight good, and they have to prove that they are worthy of getting an uncontested drop spot in heats as well as grand finals. And especially since this team is landing so close to so many other big teams like Clicks and Vino, Peterborough and Pollo, they can't just look like a weak target and free Storm Surge for a team to push them every single game, because you do see that a lot of the times in grand finals, Storm Surge is so high, and especially this season with how many good teams there are, Storm Surge is going to be insanely high in heats as well as grand finals, that if a team just sees them as free points and free Storm Surge, they are going to get W keyed every single game, and it is not going to go good for them. They have to come out with a dominant performance in heats as well as maybe a very good performance in the last Cash Cup, and they just have to establish some fear into people that they are not a team to be messed with. This could be the last FNCS that they really ever play together. If you guys don't know, if they don't qualify for this season's FNCS Grand Finals, there is not going to be another FNCS until January. So I mean, if you think that Mongraal and MrSavage can just go like 6 months with no FNCS, and if you think especially Mongraal can just go 6 months with no FNCS without like retiring again or starting to get into other games or doing more IRL things again, that this could truly be the last dance for them. It cannot be understated how big they need this performance, not really for their legacies. And I mean, everyone will always remember the first season that they played together and they were able to make grand finals, but people want to see this team at the LAN event. We want to see them competing at the highest level for one last time. And even if they don't do crazy good at the LAN event, just seeing them there would be so good for competitive viewership. Like, Mongraal and MrSavage are literally probably two of the three biggest pros in all of Fortnite. Like, if you had to make a top 3 list of just like the most popular Fortnite pros, it would definitely go like Clicks and then probably Mongraal and MrSavage in 2 or 3, whatever order you want to put them in. So being able to see like how hype it would be to see their walkout at a global championship and how many fans would be there for them, to be able to get the game to a more casual audience, it would be absolutely huge for Mongraal and MrSavage to be there. I'm really curious to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section down below. And if you guys do think Mongraal and MrSavage can, 1, qualify for grand finals, and 2, make the LAN event, which is honestly the overall goal. Like, making grand finals would be a huge accomplishment for them, no lie. But if this team was able to qualify for global championships when Mongraal was literally retired at this same time last year, like, do you know how big of a storyline that would be? By the time you're seeing this video, tournament should literally be starting in like a couple days from now again, so I'm very excited to get back into making that tournament content for you guys. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers one day and get that YouTube plaque. Turn on notifications to the channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. Use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. YouTube says that you would like one of these 2 videos that are up on the screen right now, so if you're enjoying my content, maybe just go check out one of those videos as well. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.